Hello. About an hour. Well, let me see what time it really is. About an hour and, well, actually about an hour and 3 minutes. I was born at 2:45 in the morning on a Saturday, July 13th, 1968. I have a friend here on Facebook who was also born in '68, but she's a good friend. I have two good friends, and the thing that surprised me with Facebook in general is sometimes they put shortcuts to Messenger, and I guess who you interact with is who the system puts you as a shortcut. I have a shortcut with two friends. I don't name my friends because I have 23 friends, and I have all my friends are important to me. All of you are important to me. Let me put this over here. My hand's shaking a little bit because I was drinking coffee. I'm just going to put this over here. But needless to say, all of you on my Facebook account as friends, and I have one family member. It's my aunt, and I miss my family dearly. The only one I really have contact with anymore is my brother and his family, and he's been helping me out with different things. We weren't really close too much growing up because I was the oldest of all three of them. Go figure. And he, she had my mom had three boys. She had me by another man, my biological father, and she had my two brothers by my stepfather. But I consider my stepfather my real dad, and well, he was like a dad to me because, just because the fact was, he was there for me when I was about 7 to 8 years old. I mean, they got married when I was about 7, and it was just all that growing up in my teen years until I had moved out of the house. I moved out about late in life, about 22. In and out of what I like to call insane asylums, but that was because of mental conditions. They didn't know what to classify me as. One psychiatrist doctor classified me as a classic case of schizophrenia, but they couldn't come up with the diagnosis that, I just wasn't a happy person. Go figure. Now they got me classified as a schizo depression. And I went into many videos on my Facebook blog about that, so that's not necessary in this video. This video is to tell a little bit how I'm progressing. I chat with people in Messenger, mainly two people, a third if you want to count her, but she's not on my friend's account. She's someone I met through a friend on one of my groups, and I know her a little bit, but she's kind of overbearing, and I don't want to be that way with any of my friends. If I ever get that way, just let me know. That is with anybody. I don't want it to be considered somebody that's going to be rudely interrupting and just, I just don't need that. If I start to be that way, I'll just keep to myself because that's basically what I do. I have some good friends. I have two good friends. Not that the rest of you all are not my good friends. If I chose you to confirm your friend request, you are on my friends list for a reason. That's because no matter, we're all people in this game. Whether we claim to be witches or I claim to be a witch, but some witches even have different practices. Some of my groups are Luciferian, some of my groups are satanic. Some of my groups have to deal with Aleister Crowley, and some of my groups have to deal with, the philosophy behind Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible. I do tarot, but lately I have not been doing it because I've been getting better results for paying for them and using free tarot, what do you want to call it, card generators, which generate cards, and they're actually written by psychics and astrologers. Well, need to be say, I will pay for reads. I've known to pay up to $25 to $45 for reads. So yeah, I pay for them. Lately, just last night around 11:30, well, it might have been later than that, I got in contact with a psychic. Now some of you on my account may see a Safina and may have seen her picture. That's who I got in contact with. I actually wanted to talk to the person behind the generated cards that I picked myself, but she picked the cards, and I don't need to go into the read here, but I'm going to go into the read with two friends. If you want to know a little more about the read, you can do it yourself. All you have to do, and I've given the site for the Lotus Tarot, .net, and you can talk to psychics. Now, the one I talk to, they're having a special because it's my birthday. Yeah, big deal. She's originally about $7.99 a minute, but I got a discount because of birthday discount for the first time, and that was about three something, and my read costs about $9 plus tax, which is about $15 altogether. Well, she said she would make it a quick read. I gave her a fantastic score because it sounds like it could be possible, and I thanked her and told her to have a good night. Have a good night, and just left it at that. The read might have been maybe, I don't know, maybe 5, maybe 6 minutes at the most. But I know it was $15 worth, with the $2.99 what I paid, and then a $7 charge on top of that because I went a little over my first 3 minutes. I think I might have gone 5 minutes, I'm not sure, but altogether it was $15. And I've been known to pay $25 to $30 for reads, so yeah, I pay for these things. And I have books. I can show one book right now that I got off a very special seller that's been selling books and items to me. This is the book I got. I love it. It's got a lot of interesting things in it. I got it marked where I have left off, and just reading into the Book of Wands right now. Reading the suit of wands and the major and minor arcanas of the tarot. I get into tarot. Now, I do something I do practice with, and there's really no instructions on how to use it. You just got to be able to understand that these things can manifest, and I use a Ouija. I don't do it often, and a lot of people, well, of course, there was one friend of mine, and a few people in some groups said, you really don't want to do it on your own. But if I'm going to work with my what I work with, I don't want to go into detail, but I practice a little bit of this. This is what I practice. Okay, I even have the book to show for it, and I do have it on PDF, and I do copy things out of it. And I have a friend who's also getting more involved in that topic. But I don't need to go into what my friends are doing. I have a lot of people in groups that are into that topic. And I have people in groups that are into, can't think of his name, Lucien Greaves. Now, Lucien Greaves has a modern day, the Satanic Temple, TST. I'm more old school in that. I'm more Crowley, more the Red Goddess, and books of that sort. I don't know his other books, but I have friends that read his books, and I've been in groups where we discussed books, and there's a lot of books on the occult out there, from Luciferianism to Crowley, to Thelimatite, to the OTO, to practices of magic in general. So if you don't believe in it, I mean, that's fine. It'd be like taking an occult book from me if I didn't give it to you. It would be like stealing a Bible out of a church, okay? And yes, I do have a Holy Bible because I really want to understand it, but I fail to understand how it could be true. But, you know, whatever works for you, works for you. I have made videos clear that I have studied the Holy Bible. I'm not scripted in it to know Corinthians 1 through all the books of Corinthians, to know all the books of, what was it? Hosea. But when I have read it, Hosea, some of the books, I think it was like Hosea 16 or something like that. It might have been 13, 16. And I read that, you know, maybe this God was not really nothing more than any other book that was written by man. And you think, okay, you got Gnosticism. Gnosticism is a belief that there's this one unit known as one power or one higher power, which would be like a monad, meaning like there's no monarchy above him or below him. He is everything, and everything is in him, but he's invisible, but he looks like us. Okay, there's a loophole there too. And if you think about it, and my brother pointed this out to me, he said, yeah, but you believe in Satanism. Couldn't you say that you believe in something imaginary too? And I got all my thoughts, and I thought, no, that's not really what the Satanic Bible teaches. It teaches more, if you read the Book of Satan, and then go ahead and read the rest of the books, which is Lucifer, I think Leviathan, and then Belial. They all form elements. Satan being fire, Lucifer being air, and Leviathan being water, and Baal being earth. And each book is a dogma related to Satan and the four crown princes of what they claim to be hell. Now, according to LaVey, there's no place where you go to an imaginary heaven where, you worship an invisible thing that looks like you, but it's invisible, but you're not invisible, which it never made sense to me. And there's no hell where sinners roast. I mean, that's just in book 4 of the Satan book 4. And if you read it, and if you don't want to, that's up to you. But we live for the here and now, what we can do to better our lives. And no, we're not going to take shit from somebody either. Like a man, I think it's Satan book 3 or Satan book 2. If a man hits us on one cheek, smash him on the other. And another one that we think about, and it's even in our 11 rules. And yes, there are cardinal sins in Satanism. One is stupidity. It's a sin to be tricked, to understand that, the sheepish society that go into this one unit or this monad system or this Godhead system is easily to be tricked by these, let's say faith healers. Yeah, I just got a badge in one of my things, one of my pages. Thought somebody's coming on. No. I love Facebook. It just does this every time I'm recording. But if you think about it, the faith healer, he's actually tricking people thinking that, okay, he's a miracle man. He's nothing. He's not a miracle man. He's a human being like everybody else. The preacher that, say, does exactly the opposite of what he's telling his congregation to do, he could be known as a drunk. He could be known as loose with women, and all these human traits of these preachers and priests, especially priests. But, yeah, I know a little bit about the Catholics, so I don't want to go into it because, Facebook could pull it. But I know. I was bred to be a Catholic. Not nothing to be proud of, but that's what made me see that from a father, a biological father, who was a Reformed Presbyterian, he made us as children. I was probably about maybe 10 to 15 when I lived with him for about maybe 4 or 5 years. And he would make us say a blessing at the table. He would read a Bible and quote his own interpretation of the Bible. That was it. He didn't read it word for word. He quoted his own interpretation, which means he put things into it that, if you read it, wasn't there. See, he was using it for his own benefit. He was a narcissist, or narcissistic behavior. He had a pattern that, he said pride was his sin. What was he proud of? He was proud of himself. He didn't show any pride except for lies, saying that you were a bad person, even if you were doing the right thing that he told you to do, it was wrong. My stepfather never did that. But he claimed Christianity. He was a Protestant. And I could understand him. He never pushed anything on us boys. He mainly gave us the option if we wanted to study the Bible or go to church, we could do that. Now, my mother got married to him on the arrangement that he would raise his 2 children, and probably she'd have to raise me because she got custody of me, as being bred to be Catholic. She seen that I rebelled against that probably at the age of 15. So she took it upon herself to say, okay, I want nothing to do with you. You're going to go out to Bob. Bob is my biological father. So there was I came back worse than what I had been before I went. Needless to say, and then she tries to tell me that, okay, I understand you. You don't have to go to church anymore. You're almost 18. You're working. You're driving. You're choking on coffee. You're driving. You're making your own money by doing jobs like, working in a motorcycle shop. And at that time I was also working for realtors in lawn care. So she said, I understand you. You're trying to improve your life, and I don't believe that I could help you any. So needless to say, when I was about 22, I basically out of psych wards for being told I was crazy. And I question it. Was it my mother actually saying I was? Because I didn't want to follow a pattern of studying in a book and having to pray to statues or saints or statues of Jesus and light candles. Like, okay, I'm talking to the invisible guy in the sky now. Is he going to grant my wish? Okay. Didn't seem to happen. But I've been communicating with these readers, and I'm not talking computer generated. There the card is, they read it for you and you print it out. I've done that too. That's free reads. I'm talking with real amateurs, intermediate, and tonight I had a professional reader for about $15, which was cheaper actually than the intermediate readers I've had. But all the reads have been good. I've had things from Oracle to Tarot. This was an actual tarot read. And needless to say, it was about my love life and about my wealth, about financial and love life. And I explained everything. Not in detail, not no names or no what's going on with me financially. I did mention my rents went up. I didn't say how much. And it looks a little bit better for me. So I don't know. That's the only part I can give you in detail. Otherwise, I want to talk to my friends. At least the 1 or 2 that I know. To see what they think. And yes, I'm getting along very well with 2 people. Now, the rest of you are still friends. And if you want to contact me and know a little bit why I'm depressed, all you have to do is message me. I mean, if you don't watch my videos, or you do, or you care, or you just don't give a shit, I don't care anymore. I mean, we're all in the game together.